Well, here we go, Drew Henderson, our post DE
Man,
weekend podcast. How are you, brother?
I'm the best, dude. The I love every Monday. You know that. I say that every time.
Yeah,
Monday's
you
favorite
sure
day of
do.
the week. But my four favorite days of the year are the Mondays after DE. Look, I got chills. I don't know if you can see on the camera. I got chills just thinking about it. We live an amazing life of serving this profession.
But then you think about going to this thing for shit over 32 years. And, it's like now it's work. We go there, we're working, man. But what's cool is one of the biggest things I saw this DE is we have a next generation coming up that's going to take over and we're too old to do it.
Yeah. Yeah. And they're really stepping up in every way,
Big time. You can see that
stepping
big
up.
time. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, we
Yeah.
we had talked before, we had our eyes on people who might be it, but unfortunately, we've not seen them.
Hmm.
But these guys and gals now, man, it's, they're present, they're plugged in, they're connected, they're working, they're walking the walk, not just
Right.
talking the talk.
Right. They're connected is the right word. And they see the vision of principal chiropractic and what goes into it. I mean, they're seeing now that we're creating things for them to help with, that it's beyond just showing up. It's actually showing up and working.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's more than just
That's good.
work.
It's good.
4 days out of
It's good,
every
bro.
3 months. It's not just at DE. It's every day we're working on DE.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's amazing. We're blessed, man. I know that much.
It's funny because you'll start seeing Facebook posts today on the DE page about how people had their biggest Monday, right? And it blew
Mhm.
up, and today was their best day ever. I come back, I'm tired, bro.
Me too.
I had a great Monday, but it wasn't my biggest Monday.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a
But I'm
solid
happy for
Monday.
them. I'm
Yeah,
happy for them.
yeah, it
Yeah,
was a solid Monday for us, but it was still just, just that tiredness.
yeah, yeah.
Just that tiredness. And I have to get up a little after 5 on Monday mornings for this little men's group. And I'm like, I could just stay in the bed. The guy that kind of leads that, he knows where I was.
Uh-huh.
It won't be a big deal, but I'm like, no, I got to get up. When you have a commitment, you honor that commitment
That's
no
right.
matter what.
That's right.
So
That's
I
right.
got up and it was,
Commitment's a great word, man. Commitment's a big one when it talks about being a human being in life, an entrepreneur, let alone a doctor of chiropractic. It's a big commitment.
it is. And it's not just on things that you want to get accomplished, and it's in everything you do. There was a little boy today. If John and Emily, if y'all are watching this, which I know y'all watch these, I'm sorry. Don't get on to him. It's my fault. But their little boy, he's going to go over there after he got adjusted and get something out of the jar. We have those little bitty mini Smarty packs, those little candy things that just sugar,
Yeah.
but they're little. So he went over there. He got him one. He got him another one. He got him three. And he was over there while his mom was getting adjusted, just cramming them in. And I said, now listen, I'm not going to say anything about those 3 packs, but do you want a shake that you won't get any more today? He's like, man, we'll shake that I won't get any more the rest of the week. And I'm like, I'm not going to let you shake on that, because Braden, when Thursday comes and you're back, you're going to want another one.
That's right.
And if we shake on it, I can't let you have it. And like, give me those wrappers. I'm going to throw them away so nobody knows, but we're not shaking on it. Because even for a 10-year-old, that commitment's still a commitment when you shake hands.
Let's hope his mom and dad don't watch this episode because you just threw him under the bus, bro.
But it's
That
my
poor
fault.
kid.
I didn't stop him. I'm like, it's all right. I told him, I'm like, bro, I got you. I got your back. But don't do it again.
Don't do it again.
But if he
Sure
made
do.
that commitment not to get more, we have to
Yeah.
stick to that.
Yeah. That's right. That's right,
Because a
bro.
man is only as good as his word.
Well, listen, we talk about being principal chiropractors, and when you're a principal human being, you stick to your word, you know?
Hmm.
And, chiropractic is a healing art of its own. Why can't we just be principled with it, which means stick to chiropractic? And that's one of the things we're shooting for. And we know everybody in the room at DE is not. We've created a non-judgment zone to not call them out, but hopefully they find it in their heart, man, to clean shit up and get real.
Yeah, it doesn't bother me what somebody does in their own personal office. That's fine.
Right.
That's cool. You do whatever you wanna do, but you have to be within your scope. You gotta do that. You'll get in trouble. And don't wonder why people don't understand what it is that we do
Facts.
when you're mixing. You have to know, like, "Hey, listen, I'm just doing a money grab." It doesn't I'm not as concerned about them getting the big idea as me grabbing money, and that's fine. That's cool. I don't mind. You do
Yeah.
you, but we have to I want the patients to understand it exactly what it is that we do and not do.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you know what it is? When you understand what it is we do, it's gonna make you step up and work harder, be the best at it you can. And if you've got to master a craft, it means you've got to put a lot of work in to become a master. People don't want to work anymore. So I think that's part of the problem. It's easier to take the shortcut and do other adjunct things to just make a buck, instead of putting the time in, become a master.
Yeah, and so many of those adjunctive therapies are great therapies. I even do some. I just don't do them under the guise of chiropractic.
But you don't do them in your office.
I'm just not gonna do it.
Right.
Yeah, I'm just not gonna do it. It's not
Right.
chiropractic. I'm not gonna do it in the office, and that's okay.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it's I work out and stretch. I'm not gonna stretch and massage people in the office.
It's, you know what,
That's not
man, there's
what we do. Massage is great.
plenty of people around there to do it for you. I refer out for all that, and there's nothing wrong with that. But, the bigger picture
No.
comes down to this, and we talked a lot about this at DE, and it's about building up volumes. You're actually making changes in the community. And I was talking with my new
Mhm.
doc today, Christy, about it. She said, why wouldn't people want to see more people in volume? And I think we just lost our jargon. Back in the days of DE, they would go around the room. Who's seeing 800 a week? Who's seeing 900? Who's seeing 1,000? And hands were going up everywhere. There's nothing wrong with that. But if it's a 3, 4, 5, 600 visit a week practice, that's a high volume office. You're doing a great job.
Mhm. Yeah, and if you're not, don't be so, small-minded maybe, that's not the right word, of like, I feel like I'm exposed and I'm embarrassed. Well, don't be embarrassed. Everybody's going through stuff.
Be proud of what you do.
Everybody's trying to get better. Everybody's trying to get
Yeah.
better,
Yeah, it's all right. Be
you
you
know?
at the end of the day. If you can't talk about it and you're incongruent, you're gonna wake up someday. And as like I said at DE, it's like, can you look at the mirror and be proud of who's looking back at you?
Mhm.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah. And I know for me, it just seems like if you understand this principle, if you know this principle, if you live it, if you want to teach it to other people, there's no way that you can't be seeing 100 a day. No way. Because you have such a fire because you know how important it is to that person, to their family, to their subdivision, to their community, to the town that you're living in.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
important,
Yeah.
you know?
Well, I think the thing we got to get to is really plugging into people. One, they got to get the philosophy and find their burning desire. Because when you have faith and understanding what it is we're actually doing, then the other thing is how to communicate it. We got to master the skills of communicating, of shifting someone's paradigm. And that's the conversation we really have to start having is how to shift the paradigm of, I don't believe in chiropractic to understanding the principle and understanding that I realize my body is a self-healing, self-regulating organism, and chiropractic's a conduit for that. That's a big difference from I don't believe in chiropractic. I'm like, I don't blame you. The crap you see going on around on social media, I don't blame you.
Yeah, I mean, we had a patient today in the office. She's a great girl. Her partner's always in the car. We're like, "Tell her to come in. Why don't she come in?" "Well, no, she's afraid of chiropractors." And I'm like, "Well, she probably seen them on TikTok. I'm afraid of those chiropractors on TikTok too. You know, I am too." And she like, "I know this is nothing like that. Like this is specific. Like y'all find the bone and move it." Like, yeah, I mean, it's simple. It's specific. So she's probably gonna come in next time and watch her get adjusted.
Well, that's the irony of it is she's scared. I don't want to do it, but it's okay for the person I love to do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what's funny about it.
It's a
I just had a
misnomer, man.
conversation with a mother last week, and she has her daughter get adjusted, but she doesn't get adjusted because she's nervous. And I'm like, well, you have your daughter getting adjusted. That doesn't
I
make any
know.
sense, but thank you. That's great. but I'm not going to give up on you. The door is always open to you.
But, I like that better than them leaving the kids in the car. Like, you leaving the kids in the car, you're coming in the office, you're eating a big 12-ounce bone-in filet, and you're leaving the kids to eat an old French fry that fell in between the seats.
Yeah.
Bring the kids in.
I
Bring them
had
in.
this morning before school, my kids, they wanted to get adjusted. It was like 6 in the morning. Dad, can you check us? I was gone all weekend, obviously. And it's funny because we got a lot going on now. We've moved into our rental house. You can tell behind me, I've got my garage sitting in my garage. I don't have the beautiful backdrop like you do, brother, because they found water damage and mold in my beautiful home. Someone, a mixer roofer messed up the roofing job and water apparently was leaking in everywhere. We got mold everywhere. So we moved into this little space, so we're kind of crammed in. It's great though. No complaints. But we get up 6 this morning and I made sure to bring my table over and we had to put it into this back little storage room that we have. We're in there this morning at about 6:15 getting checked before school. I'm like, how blessed is this, bro?
Yeah.
Heck, you check me before I go to school. And then Jamie's right behind them.
Yeah, they
Second
know,
nature.
man. They know
Second
because it's
nature.
been taught over time, you know?
Yeah.
It just they didn't have to be convinced because they've experienced evidence of what happens when you don't get adjusted. They've been in your office enough to be like, these are the people that's not under care that's just starting. Look at their lives.
Well, that's an interesting phrase. They experienced care. Is that
Mhm.
what you said?
Yep.
Experience?
Mhm.
When people experience it, and that's something I've been a broken record, for almost, 26 years now, that give it 6 months. And I've said that before on the podcast. I say that to patients over. Give it 6 months. If your life's not changing, life's not going to be perfect. You may still have some low back pain, but other things are going to start feeling better.
Yeah,
I like that experience.
it takes time. Guy today, he's maybe his fourth visit in after he's been gone for year and a half, 2 years. He's like, Doc, it's no better. I'm like, dude, like, we're good. We're not this good. You have to come in here regular. It takes time, effort, repetition. We've not seen you 2.5 years. But well, I live over on the other side of the county.
That's it.
It's like there's people from other states driving in from South
Right.
Carolina,
Yeah.
and you don't want to drive 30 minutes. That's cool. I mean, I'll find you somebody. You just need to get adjusted regularly. That's it. That's it. It's got
A
to.
long time ago in Connecticut, now I'm doing it here in Florida. I stopped looking at where people live before I make their recommendation because
Hmm.
I literally would feel bad. So I just go ahead and make the recommendation and then let them decide. Because you have a heart, you realize it's a lot. I remember years ago, I had a patient that wanted me to come speak at an event in her hometown. I said, absolutely. And the day before, she gives me the address, tells me to come. She was pulling together about 80 people. Tammy went with me and we're driving and driving and driving. I was like, holy cow. They drive this far 1 to 2 times a week for a couple of years. And when I got there, I looked at her, I said, I didn't realize you live so far away. She said, you know what, Dr. Steve? You're worth it.
Yep.
And that meant a
Yep.
lot, man, because how many chiropractors are you passing? And I adjusted her and her husband till the day they died. They were awesome. They were awesome.
Yeah. And not only did they drive that far, time or two a week, they paid you. They were paying you to do that. It's I know
Yeah.
years ago this little man passed away too. He was touched. He was a little special needs. He worked at a Burger King, Dairy Queen, something like that, fast food place in the back washing dishes. But he would, and we have a little box on the wall that if people really struggle, that's what they use. And he was special needs, but he lived by himself. He drove, and he would come in. He would use the box. He would put like $20 in the box every visit. That was his thing, once a week. And then you start doing the math, and you're like, this dude he's handicapped, mentally handicapped, special needs. He washes dishes at a fast food restaurant. He has to just to come. People are like, oh yeah, you're devaluing it. But just for him to come and get adjusted one time a week, after taxes, he's got to work like 5 hours, and he spends what, maybe 2 or 3 minutes there on the table. And it just, I don't know, man. It's not devaluing it when he's got to work 4 or 5 hours just to come lay down for 2 or 3 minutes. Like, he understands the value of it.
Helps him do his 4 hours better.
Yeah,
Helps him sleep
and
better.
yeah, and he was just such a joy. Come in, he would laugh. Couldn't understand him half the time. You're like, "What you saying, my man?" But that he was just full of life, and after he did pass, his parents were like, he loved coming in. That was the highlight of his week, every week to go see Dr. Drew,
That's real
so
love right there, brother.
it is. And we get to do that every day, and we don't realize the impact we have on people just for them as an outlet to come in to see us.
What was your highlight of the DE weekend? What hit you the most this weekend?
Oh man, there's so many. Everything from Gigliotti's kids, man, love those kids so much. That little baby,
Yeah.
Balsamo, the whole weekend was
How about that
just
picture of
awesome.
Johnny's little girl looking up at him on the stage?
Yeah, yeah, that's the second one I've got of that.
Yeah.
What, 2 DEs ago, or maybe 3 DEs ago, exact same pose. She's looking up at him, but she's a lot shorter.
Yeah.
You know,
That's adorable.
that girl loves her daddy.
Oh, she sure does.
And a lot of other people love her daddy too.
A lot of people.
It's
Mine
I don't
was
know.
Joe Parpola's baby girl. The young
Yeah.
girl, she just went through the diabetic, like the really like like 5% of the kids get this syndrome. Healthy, vibrant little girl. She lights up my heart, man. Her little blue eyes, and she's so cute. And we had this little game going all weekend. I just walked up to her at the end, gave her a hug. I said, "I love you because you make me smile." And she just giggled. But what a precious, you see these little chiropractic families, these kids that are just pure and connected and loving and kind hearted. It's like life ain't perfect. Stuff's gonna happen, but the principle of life and love and it's gonna carry us through.
Yeah, and she just hits it in stride. She'll have her little insulin pump up here on her dress clipped on
Yeah,
and just
yeah,
running around just wild,
yeah.
just
And
love
listen,
that.
bringing your kid to a place like Innate, there was another doc there, a young girl who has the same thing and saw her with it and went right over her, talked to her, became friends with her. Joe took a picture of them together. And I mean, that's a connection. It was like, hey, me too, girl. I got, we're in the same club. And that's great for her to be able to experience that. Like, you're not alone.
No, no, and that's the thing, like, this morning at our Bible study or little book study, Bible study, was reading George Mueller, guy that had, like, thousands and thousands of orphans, right, that he took in, and he always waited on the Lord to do the work, right? He would just be patient, but he said, "When the time is right, God will help." So, like, how did Joe's daughter grow and feel connected to this older young woman that has a pump, just like her, same model, everything. And then boom, like they made that connection. The time was right. God help put those two souls together in that room together.
Yeah.
And that little girl's life and the big girl's life won't be the same
Yeah.
anymore.
That's how the
You know,
universe works, brother. Nothing
it
by
does.
chance. And we had
No,
an
not
amazing
nothing's by
crowd,
chance.
amazing people. I mean, there was about 400 people there, just pure. Like, it was a different kind of crowd. The energy was very subdued in the beginning. You could just tell the tears start flowing, the hearts start opening, and then you see the comments on Facebook afterward. I'll be back. I'll be back. It's really
Yeah.
nice, man.
Yeah. And, I'm sensitive anyway, but I don't know how much I cried this weekend.
Ah,
You know, it's just the way it is. Just like Johnny's daughter up there, some of the guys, girls at Parade of Stars, it's just like, oh my gosh,
yeah. Listen, man.
it's
You know,
people's lives are changing.
and if they could just keep open to it and keep receiving and coming back and not rush it, build relationships. It's like building a practice. It takes time. Build relationships, connect with people, talk to people. You get cell phone numbers, you communicate. It's going to help you grow as a human being. I see it now with this practice that we're kind of starting over here. I got all the numbers charting to see them climbing, 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 and it tells me that we're taking care of more people. We go from taking care of hundreds a day to trying to get to a couple hundred in a week. That's like, you talk about a shift of consciousness, brother.
Mhm.
But you realize it's like healing takes time. Like, things take time. You just got to keep pouring into it.
Yep, growth takes time. And I know if we're honest, that growth can be hard because you've been in Connecticut at such a high level for decades. And then you move down here and you're like, all right, let's grow this thing. It's brand new.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
brand new little baby. I'm used to playing hard football catch and pass and blocking and tackling with my older son that's a senior in high school. Now I have a little baby I've got to be gentle with. It's a whole different thought process, but those connections that people are making, like every bit of it, it all counts. It don't matter if it's this person or that person. You make those connections, and so often the one that might be chapping your ass today may be saving it tomorrow.
Yeah. Or the chopper is subluxated
Yeah,
and they just
yeah,
need someone to listen and not respond and say, lay down, left side up, toggle that atlas and watch what happens to them.
yeah, and I may be the one subluxated, like above Atlas, when like, man, like why is he that way to me? But then I look back on it a couple of years later, and I'm like, huh, I was a jackass. That was me. That was on me. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. It's true, man. Listen, we're all going to have moments in life. You
Yeah,
just got to look back and smirk shit. Just keep moving forward, man.
yeah. None of it matters.
Let the healing happen, you know? Let the healing happen,
Yeah, like
you
none
know?
of us got our crap together. I know that much, and we're all moving toward the principle together, bringing this to our communities, bringing it to the profession through DE, through the IFCO. I'm excited. We got Lyceum coming up in 2 weeks, I think.
Yeah, it's a week or 2 weeks away. Yeah.
Yeah, week and a half. That's going to be off the hook. So it's busy, man. But
Yeah.
we got to stay busy. What else are we going to do?
I might have to dip out of that Lyceum a little early. We got Canes baseball scheduled, just came out for playoffs, and every game they're playing is Fridays and Saturdays. Best out of three series. So they play Friday, then they play the first game Saturday. If it's tied 1-1, then they got a third game Saturday. So we got our meeting Friday there for a couple hours. I might have to dip out because I don't want to miss it. This is
No, man.
senior
Like,
year of high school.
no,
I had to
dude.
reach out to Jim Dubell today because I'm
Hmm.
speaking at New Beginnings next month, and I promised, but he's got me on the schedule for Saturday. God willing, Kane's team goes to the state championship. It's that Saturday. So I said, just if they lose, they're out, right? So I said, but if they're winning, then push me to Friday possibly, if you can. Like, I'm going to make the effort and get there because I'm a man of my word, but I'm not missing the state championship. And, the odds of them getting the state championship are with them. They're the number one baseball team in the nation for high school sports right now. It's pretty damn
Yeah,
good.
man. Yeah, they're crushing it. And then what? Year before last, they were national football champs.
Well, last year they were the national high school baseball champ, and the year before he was last year he was the high school state football champ. So, kid's had a pretty good run at sports in high school. He's a
Yeah, it's
blessed
just
little
so
man.
many. I can't keep them straight.
It's great when you talk about it. You're like, wow, okay, cool, cool, that's awesome.
And then coming full circle with that, we talked at the beginning about commitment. You're
Yeah,
committed to the principle. You're committed to your kids.
100%.
That's the thing. You're committed to your kids.
You don't get
Got
these
to be
times
there where
back.
they're at.
You don't get these times back, and they're your biggest investment,
Yeah,
hands
and
down.
and I know they appreciate it. I mean, when Kylie came in this weekend, she just like looking for her dad. You know, loves her
I
daddy.
love it. She's
All
awesome.
of them do. All of them do.
Yeah, you saw JJ, right?
Yeah, she's a she's a wild one too, man. She reminds me a little bit of Tammy, or a
A
lot like
hundred
Tammy.
percent. A little
Dude,
bit. Come on.
she makes me a little nervous. You know what I mean?
You never
I mean,
know what's
she
coming out of that
does.
mouth.
No, she's
You know
just
what was great, man? And people need to realize I had Beth Zog check both of them. You ever watch that little girl adjust?
she's crazy,
She
man.
is
She's awesome.
a freaking master, bro. A little
Yeah,
machine. It
just
was
a
fun
powerhouse.
watching her. It was fun watching her dialed in and work. Like how, you want to see a master. You watch that young lady. Like she was dialed in, had her checks, double checked, adjusting, check, just check. Nope, this doesn't feel right. Check, then check, check. Okay, they're clear. Good. I mean, I was like proud. I'm like, thank you, man. Like that's awesome because I love to have other people check my family, and you don't let anybody. Like, that person. I'm like, no. Jamie goes, all right. Who should I go to? I said, right here. This lady, she's got you. People don't realize the power in that little body, man. She's got reps in her. She's awesome.
She does, and even with all that analysis, back and forth, checking, checking, double checking, it still doesn't take her long. It's still just a
Wasn't
couple of
long at all.
minutes, you know?
She was
And she
moving.
does
She
it in
was,
heels, dude.
yeah.
She does it
Yeah,
in high
that's right.
heels, you know,
Yeah.
just crushing it, and I'm like, "Man, I need my orthotic inserts because my feet hurt."
And it wasn't a show. She
No.
was she was in her own little world. And it wasn't just doing like the hand blowing in the air and, blah. It was just, she just did her thing and check, check. Everything had a check. I loved it.
Yeah, yeah,
I
you could
loved
see
it.
her just get right in that zone, and then, "All right, now this
Yep.
person's here, this is what I'm doing." Nothing else mattered at that moment.
I was getting ready to go out at one point to go do a workout, and someone asked me to adjust them. Then someone else came over and said, and then there was like 4 or 5 people standing there. I said, "Can I be next?" So I said, "Sure." I checked them, checked them, checked them. The one guy standing there watching goes, "Is that how long it takes you in practice?" I said, "Yeah." Like, really? I said, "Yeah." I said, "I've done, hundreds of thousands of these." It's like, what else is there? He's like, "Can you teach me that?" I said, "Yeah, it's easy." So that night we got together, went through some things. I said, "You got to have your checks. And when the check is clear, they're done." He's like, "That makes perfect sense." Certainty.
And it's the same check that you use to see if they're subluxated. Post-check, you gotta use that same one to make sure you got it,
That's it, my man.
you know, and
That's it.
and people will fly through their family, but then they'll take so much longer on somebody that's not their family. So, like, why? Like, if we love our family the most and, all right, clear is clear, they're done. All right, well, they're done. We're not gonna rub on anybody. We're not gonna do no trigger points. Not gonna stretch their, I don't know, psoas, whatever. You know, clear is clear.
That's it, brother. That's what we're teaching at DE. We got our post TE meeting coming up in about a week and a half where what can we do better? How can we serve
Yeah,
better? What can we add? What do we need to take away? What's got to happen? Like, we'll be going and breaking it all down.
yeah. And July is gonna be better than this one. You know, they all get better. You know, that's
July's
July
Atlanta, right?
16th. Yep, July
Okay.
16th through the 19th,
Awesome.
as Dr. Sid would say, in the promised land of Atlanta.
That's right. And listen, we talked about it. We talked about it. I want to start getting DE on the road. Maybe one time a year we go somewhere totally different, my man.
Yeah, just an intensive, just a quick intensive.
I
It
don't
don't
know,
it
man.
don't
I think that, I don't know. I'd like instead of 3 times of the year in Atlanta, I'd like to see twice a year in Atlanta and maybe once Florida and once somewhere totally different.
Oh, you mean like
Texas.
a full DE?
Yeah. And
Yeah, shoot.
maybe I was thinking maybe don't do Thursday night. Let Thursday be the travel day and open up Friday like we do Thursday and roll right into the speakers.
Mhm. Yep. I'm down. Go up to Banff in Canada. You ever been there?
I was supposed to go skiing. What's his name? That used to come to DE all the time. Had a place up there, and then something happened. We couldn't go. But yeah, Banff, I heard it's beautiful. I've not been there. That's what I'm saying. There's a lot of beautiful places that we
Jackson
could go
Hole.
to. Thinking, hey, Utah, man, let's hit Utah.
Yeah.
I said to
Yeah.
Rando, how hard is it to bring this show on the road? He goes, let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's do
I'm
it.
down, man.
Okay.
I'm
There's a
down.
will,
I'm
there's
ready
a
to
way,
go.
my man. So if people have
Yeah.
suggestions, let us know, man, because I think it'll be a lot of fun. I think we could do it. So
Yeah, drop it in the comments, text us, whatever. But, you said where there's a will, there's a way. Dr. City Williams and Dr. B.J. Palmer both said where there's a will, there's a million ways. And we got the will.
amen, my brother. Let's close it on that. I love those words of wisdom. I love you. I love TE, and I love everybody listening to this, man. God bless you all.
Yeah, man. Love y'all.